I'm not sure. Anyway, we are ready to move on. This is where we left off last time. Let's proceed with Act 4 of Homestuck. I think we're getting sort of near to the end of Act 4, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I think there's probably a couple hundred pages left. I don't think we'll get to the end today, but I think maybe by next week we will. If I'm correct. Harper, you probably know. Right Sync? Yeah, it is a huge work of English literature. It is very impressive. Alright, let's get the music going again. Alright. By the way, guys, please do let me know if the music is too loud or if I'm too loud, things like that, but... Alright, anyway. Locate the fourth wall. Activate. Oh, is this the monitor that lets you monitor the people in the game? What is this? Is that Dave Hussey? I mean Andrew Hussey, sorry. Did Andrew Hussey insert himself into Homestuck? Oh yeah, AH, engage in highly indulgent self-insertion into story. Yep, that would be it. Huh. What? Oh hell no. This is always such a terrible idea. Leave me alone. Oh my gosh. It's just kind of a nice little humorous thing. Trying to break the fourth wall. AH, examine wall. Hang on, I need to, like, scoot. I need to reposition myself a little bit, because, like, I'm turned a little awkwardly. And it's kind of bugging my back a little bit. Alright. Examine wall. You really wish your side of the wall had an off switch. Which is to say, I really wish my side of the wall had an off switch. That's fantastic. Forget it. Go back to work. So this is kind of a nice little break from the heaviness of what just happened. Okay, you're just going to ask me to recap Homestuck, though. I don't know why you'd want to sit there and watch me type. This is going to be pretty long. Oh my gosh, so he's kind of recapping the first year of Homestuck. That's awesome. Alright, show recap log. How long is this? How long is this log? This is really long. Good lord, this is really long. Okay, but I'm going to read it. Because I wouldn't feel right if I skipped everything. I don't think I'm going to click the link. Well, we'll see. We'll see how I feel. Alright, anyway. Homestuck began on April 13th, 2009, the 13th birthday of our chief protagonist and future boy Skylark, John Egbert. 3 days prior was supposed to be the day where he received the Suburb beta in the mail, but it was running late. It showed up later that afternoon, and overcoming a variety of domestic adversities, he retrieved the game along with a birthday package from his internet friend, Dave Strider. So these probably all just link back to different panels, I'm guessing, like if I choose birthday package. Yes. Okay. So I don't really see a need to click on those. Along with a birthday package from his internet friend, Dave Strider. John soon established a game connection with another friend, Rose Lalonde, who spent the day badgering him about playing with her, after unsuccessfully attempting to convince Dave to play. Upon connecting, Rose was able to manipulate John's environment, move his furniture around via cursor, and restructure the shape of his room. John was unable to do this to Rose's environment, however. He'd installed the client copy of the beta and required the server copy for that. The server copy was trapped in his dad's car, along with a birthday package from another friend, Jade Harley. Jade messaged John, inquiring about the package. As of this moment, neither her package nor the server copy has been recovered by John. Rose had also prepared a... So I'm going to turn the music down a skosh. Rose had also prepared a package for John, but had not mailed it yet. It still sits in her room. Dave's package contained the authentic stuffed bunny from Con Air. In addition to allowing Rose to control John's environment, Suburb provided an array of devices Rose deployed throughout John's house. These devices used together provided a system by which the players could manufacture any item using the code on the back of that item's capture log card, if they gathered enough grist to pay for it. Later, they would learn to combine item codes to master the art of punch card alchemy, whereby items could be fused together in purpose and design. One device on being activated began a countdown and released an entity called a kernel sprite. The countdown ticked down to the moment John's house would be struck by a meteor, destroying his neighborhood. To escape this demise, John had to use the devices to manufacture a special item that looked like a blue apple and take a bite of it. I'll take this blue apple and eat it. In order to transport his entire house just before impact to the safety of a mysterious dark realm, where his house would situate itself atop a tall rock column high above a blanket of clouds. This realm is called the Medium. Everybody with me so far? You guys probably already all know all this, but it's actually helpful for me to read through this recap so I can remember a lot of things that happened a while ago. Before he entered the Medium, though, John and Rose prototyped his kernel sprite with the large Harlequin doll his dad got him for his birthday, transforming the sprite to bear its likeness, including the ways the doll was disfigured via earlier hijinks. It had a slashed eye and one arm, and so too did the sprite. When John entered the Medium, the sprite's kernel hatched, thus imbuing all the enemies John and his friends would face with properties of the sprite. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's true. The lesser adversaries John faced first, Shale Imps, all wore Harlequin garbs. They became more powerful and more radically mutated with each successive pre-medium prototyping. After entering the Medium, John's dad was kidnapped by imps. While John was looking for him, he accidentally prototyped the sprite with his grandmother's ashes, transforming it again. This prototyping had no effect on the enemies, since he was already in the Medium, and the kernel had already hatched. Instead, only the sprite was affected, and it took on the appearance, personality, and memories of his grandmother, becoming Nana Sprite. I actually didn't realize that connection between the prototyping of the sprite before entering the Medium and the effect it had on the enemies in the Medium. I didn't put that together, but there's a lot going on in Homestuck, so I'm gonna miss some things. Anyway, becoming Nana Sprite, a game-supplied, albeit customized guide for John. She explained aspects of the game about Skya residing at the center of the Medium, beyond 7 gates floating directly above his house, and about an eternal/timeless war fought there between dark and light, one that light was always destined to lose. Rose, who had been having frequent internet connection issues, lost her connection as she tried to lift John's car to retrieve the game and the package. The car fell into the abyss below. A storm caused her house to lose power, along with its wireless internet connection. Her laptop was able to run on battery power for a time, while she tapped into the wireless signal from the laboratory next door. When her laptop ran out of power, she had to overcome more family strife and endure a gift pony in the process to go outside in the rain and plug it into the small generator outside the mausoleum of her dead cat, Jasper's. She continued her session with John inside the mausoleum, while the meteor-sparked forest fire surrounding her house grew more intense. From the house, Rose's mom opened a secret passage in the mausoleum to help her escape. The passage led to the lab next door, where Rose found a stable, portable source of power and internet for her computer. She also found a terminal projecting the impact times and locations for the millions of meteors presently bombarding the planet, along with all the other live sessions of other players around the world. She also found a little girl's room, a mutant kitten she named Vodka Mutini, and I forgot about Vodka Mutini, and a cloning machine operating through the science of ectobiology. Its terminal was locked onto her cat Jasper's at whatever point in his life the user specified. She attempted to appearify Jasper's from a moment in her early childhood before he whispered a secret to her, but doing so would have caused a paradox, so it paradoxified a pile of slime instead. The machine used the slime to create a fetal paradox clone of Jasper's in a glass tube. On the monitor, Jaspers then told young Rose the secret, then vanished, only to show up dead weeks later and put in the mausoleum for years until the present. Rose left the laboratory moments before it was destroyed. Hey, thanks, Seth! Fix the on-screen chat? I don't know what's going on with the on-screen chat. Yeah, it's not, hang on, it's not advancing. That is peculiar. Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Sorry. Da-da-da. Hold on. What happens if I just copy and paste this? Let me take puppy cam off for a sec so I can see that it's refreshing properly. Okay. Try talking now, guys. Sorry that the chat window wasn't advancing. My I usually have my my other laptop on my desk with me because I have Ankbot in that and I can see chat. Yay, there we go. Alright. Fantastic. It's working. Good. Alright. So sorry guys, if you were trying to tell me something important, I definitely did not see it, and I apologize. Also, there's a cat. Look at the cat. Alright. I'm sure that's exactly what you were doing, Harper. I mean, when you think about it... Hey, Fish, how's it going? When you think about it, I'm reading, like, a ton of story spoilers right now. And holy cow, this tune sounds a lot like Pollyanna from the Mother series. Doesn't this sound a lot like Pollyanna? It sounds a lot like Pollyanna. What's the name of this track? Frog Forager. Okay. So... well, that's kind of a Mother 3 connection, because there are save frogs all over Mother 3. Oh man, this track just sounds... this sounds like exactly like something that would be on the Mother 3 soundtrack. Yeah, that makes total sense, Fish. Oh man, okay. Sorry, I have to remember this for later. Anyway, let's continue going through the unnecessarily long recap that I probably don't actually need to read for you guys, but I would be remiss if I didn't read every single panel of Homestuck the same way I've been doing for the last 1,600 plus pages. Anyway, I highly recommend it, Harper. I love Earthbound. I really enjoyed Mother 3. Sync, I agree with that. I will say, I think... sorry guys, I'm sidetracking now because the Mother series is awesome. I think Earthbound is like a stronger game as a whole, but I think the moments where Mother 3 has like really emotionally impactful moments, I think those moments in Mother 3 are more powerful than those moments in Earthbound. But overall, I think Earthbound is the better game. But I really enjoyed both of them. Anyway, where was I? Paradoxified, blah blah blah. Show up in the present. Rose left the laboratory moments before it was destroyed by the meteor impact. She transportalized back to her mom's room, proceeded to her room to wait for Dave to connect with her, and rescue her from the next imminent impact. Dave was charged with acquiring his bro's copy of the game to help Rose. Earlier, he had lost his copy of the game to a mishap involving a crow. It flew in his window, seized the game, and Dave accidentally impaled it with a sword, sending the crow and the game out the window onto a landing far below his apartment. Oh man, pizza! That sounds fantastic. He searched his bro's room, unable to find it, was briefly shadowed by Lil Cal, and then found a note beckoning him to meet on the roof for a confrontation. Dave and his bro dueled on the roof extensively, and Dave was thoroughly bested. Upon defeating Dave, his bro dropped the copies of the game and flew off on his rocket board into the sky. Yo, cookies! So I'm at the year. I'm actually at the year 1 Homestuck recap. We just finished the first year of Homestuck, and I'm reading through this now. All right. So Dave used the copies to connect with Rose and quickly deployed the devices while her house was on fire, surrounded by flaming tornadoes and minutes away from being destroyed by a meteor. Rose prototyped her Colonel Sprite with Jasper's, specifically to understand the meaning of the secret he whispered to her years ago. She was advised to do this by Jade, who told her about the game in the first place. Dave then prototyped the Colonel Sprite again with the tentacled princess doll given to Rose on her birthday by her mom. Both of these prototypings would have an effect on the enemies once Rose entered the medium. Once Rose entered the medium, and the Colonel hatched. Rose used the alchemitor to create the special item, for her, a purple wine bottle, which she needed to break to enter. She eventually did, transporting her house just before the meteor collided. The meteor left a crater. Over time, at the site of the impact, a large white structure that looked like a wine bottle grew there, and the crater filled up with sand as the climate of the post-apocalyptic Earth gradually changed. The cork of that bottle was a large metal cylinder with an interior much like an advanced science station with a variety of devices and monitors inside. 413 years after the meteor impact, the wayward vagabond walked through the desert and discovered this location. Inside, he found canned rations, a firefly he named Serenity. Oh gosh, that's right. And a purifier, and 4 monitors hooked up to a keyboard. On one of the monitors was John, just after he'd entered the medium. WV could type commands to John directly, much as the readers of this story could type commands for their characters to follow. Most of John's actions upon entering the medium were authored by WV until he became preoccupied with other activities, such as building a town out of cans, playing chess with cans, and drawing chalk murals depicting the cosmological arrangement of Skya, the medium, and the light and dark planets known as Prospit and Durst, and the 4 planets the kids would each occupy upon entering the game, called the Land of Wind and Shade, the Land of Light and Rain, the Land of Heat and Clockwork, and Jade's planet, which is yet to be seen. He also activated a countdown in the station, which caused it to blast out of the crater and fly to the designated home coordinates. Along the way, it passed over the sand-filled crater that was the impact site for John's meteor, on the other side of the continent. John's meteor had caused a giant white tree to grow in the crater. The tree grew an apple-like station from a branch, which fell into the sand. The peregrine mendicant found this station. After WV flew overhead, PM activated her station's homing feature as well, which caused it to fly to the same destination. Along the way, she used her terminal to attempt to command Jade, who, from the perspective of the terminal, had just arrived in the medium. This caused the terminal to explode for unknown reasons, leaving a hole in the station. One of the station's robotic worms recovered one of PM's falling mailboxes, and she befriended it, after earlier slaying another one with her black Regisword. Regisword. I get it, because she was supposed to commit regicide with the Regisword. Wait, your friend went to the ATM and got you $500? I want a friend who goes to the ATM and gets me $500 for, like, whatever reason. I would really enjoy that. I would like a friend like that. Where am I? Regisword. Gotcha. Regisword. WV landed at the site of the ancient frog ruins across the now dried up Pacific Ocean. The site was once the island where Jade lived, but nothing of the island remained except for the ruins. The mountain her house was on and the volcano next to it were replaced by a large, empty chasm. PM landed shortly after WV, and they met. They were confronted by the aimless renegade who fired at them from the frog ruins with old weaponry he'd been hoarding, once belonging to Jade's grandpa. Billions of years ago, the frog ruins grew from a crater struck by a meteor that emerged from a suburb portal in space. Jade's radioactive, omnipotent space-warping dog named Bequirl emerged from this crater as well. Bequirl, that's right, I can never remember Jade's dog's name. And, it's Bequirl, or Beck for short. I can just never remember that. Jade's grandpa pioneered this island and built the house that Jade lives in. Her grandpa has been dead for many years and stands stuffed in front of the fireplace. She has been looked after by her dog, who she calls Beck. She begins the day with several tasks to accomplish: to feed Beck and to retrieve a birthday package mailed by John. She irradiates a steak and heads outside to the site where the package will be dropped. She knows it will be dropped there because one of the reminders she wears on her fingers jogs her memory about it. She wears them to keep track of the many things she knows about the future through dreams. She falls asleep frequently and spontaneously. When she sleeps, her dream self is awake and living on the moon that orbits the light planet Prospect. Oh, that's where she is. Okay, gotcha. Yo, Cotton Candy Mom, what's up? How you doing? Yes, you're here for Homestuck. Yay! Oh man, the third Spy Kids movie, I saw that and I didn't enjoy it personally. I was like, why did I come to this? But to each their own, I suppose. Where am I? Orbits the light planet Prospect. Prospect very closely orbits Skya, a huge sphere of blue sky and clouds, which Nana describes as a dormant crucible of unlimited creative potential. When Prospect's moon eclipses Skya, it drifts into Skya for a time, mingling with the clouds. Dream Jade then witnesses many past and future events in the clouds. While asleep, she is often confused about what is real and what isn't. When she wakes up, she pieces together future events from her memory. Hey, thanks for the host, Seth. I'm doing good, Cotton Candy Mom. Dream Jade, when she wakes up, she pieces together future events from her memory of the cloud visions and from logs recorded by her dream bot. Her dream bot is a robotic surrogate that activates while she sleeps in her bed. It mimics in the real world the movement and actions of her dream self on the moon, and records a video log of what she sees while dreaming. Man, that would be so cool to have something like that. You can get like a video log of what you're dreaming, and you can go back and like watch what happened. I don't know the kind of things that would be recorded in my dreams, but I don't remember most of my dreams. Anyway, Prospect's moon has 2 towers of identical design, and similar design to Jade's house. Dream Jade lives in one tower. Dream John lives in the other. Dream John is still asleep, and John has no knowledge of the dream world, which is to say, the entire game session he would initiate on his 13th birthday. When he goes to sleep, instead of waking up on the moon as Jade does, he remains slumbering in his dream room, tormented by his subconscious. This torment is expressed when he sleepwalks and draws troubling scribbles on the walls of his room. When awake, he cannot see the scribbles, as his subconscious suppresses his awareness of them. It is not until he has a perception-altering revelation about his dad does he begin to see them. He initially believed they were new additions to his room, perhaps scrawled by the imps. However, they were present long before, visible in his room while he prepared Jade's birthday package months ago. John prepared a package for each of his 3 friends, whose 13th birthdays were December 1st, Jade, 3rd, Dave, and 4th, Rose. He gave Rose a knitting set, and then took an interest, I'm tripping over words here. He gave Rose a knitting set, and she then took an intense interest in knitting. He gave Dave the pair of shades Ben Stiller wore in Starsky and Hutch, which he wore from then on, replacing the shades in the style his bro wore. He gave Jade a blue version of his own ghost shirt, and some pumpkin seeds to help her replace the pumpkins that kept disappearing from her garden. But she did not receive this on the birthday John intended. She received it in the past, on her birthday when she was very young, causing her to take an interest in gardening in the first place, to take a liking to blue apparel, and to eventually befriend John over the internet and lead him, Rose, and Dave down a path where they would ultimately play this game together. Stable time loops, everyone. Jade did retrieve his package in the present as planned, but immediately took it to another location where it disappeared. WV, in the far future, appearified it from that location on accident. The package contained further instructions for him. He was to bring it to PM, and she was to use her station's sendificator to send it to another place and time. After she did this, the package appeared in front of young Jade on her birthday. Jade orchestrated the sequence of events through knowledge of them by her cloud visions. That's a great plan, Cotton Candy Mom. She orchestrated similar events for the package she sent to John, plotting the circuitous route through time and space it was meant to follow. She again utilized the Exiles for help, while they were still in the medium. The Exiles, WV, PM, and AR, were all formerly agents of the Kingdoms before they were exiled by some means to post-apocalyptic Earth. AR, as an authority regulator in the land of wind and shade, discovered the package and the beta copy in John's wrecked car as he gave it a parking ticket. PM, working as a parcel mistress, recognized the package from a correspondence she had with Jade on Prospect some time ago, and recalled it must be delivered to John. AR would not relinquish the package, though he did give her the beta, which she delivered to a Pyxis to satisfy the carved request of the mini-tablet. John carved this tablet at the request of PM through the command terminal in the future. So another time loop there. AR brought the package to Durst, where it ultimately wound up on the desk of Jack Noir. Jack is the archagent of the Dark Kingdom, charged with overseeing affairs through his office's fenestrated wall portals and processing paperwork. He is forced to wear a silly garment in keeping with prototyping themes by the Black Queen, an order he resentfully complies with. He oversaw the imprisonment of John's dad, who broke loose on multiple occasions. When Jack went to handle it personally, John's dad set Jack's hat on fire. In a surly act of gratitude, he released the prisoner. John's dad fled into the land of wind and shade, fought large monsters, got his hat dirty, and lost a shoe. He then carved tablet requests for new ones, which John filled via Pyxis, unaware of who requested them. Ah, so that's another mystery solved. I didn't realize that. I'm glad I'm doing this recap because there are like little details that I didn't really catch on the read-through. Let's see. PM followed AR to Durst in the hopes of retrieving the package. After wandering around, she encountered the Black Queen on her throne. Both the Light and Dark Kingdoms each have a king and queen. The queen sit on a throne on Prospect and Durst respectively, ruling the planet. The kings command armies on the battlefield located at the center of Skya. The queen takes on the attributes supplied by the prototypings due to the 4-orbed ring she wears. When the ring is removed,